Hey, listeners, it's Stephanie Wynn, your host of the Health and Healing from the Inside Out podcast, and I have got some amazing news to share with you. My brand new book, Navigating Inflammatory Bowel Disease, a 6-week blueprint for better gut health, is finally here and available for pre-sale. Maybe you or someone you know is struggling to figure out life with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, which is 2 forms of inflammatory bowel disease or IBD. This book is written just for you. It's simple, easy to follow blueprint, packed with practical tips and real life advice to help you manage symptoms, find the right support, and feel more control. This book is like having a friend who truly gets it, like walking with you every step of the way. And the best part, you can get your autographed copy today. Just head over to navigatingibd.com to pre-order now. If you've been looking for answers, hope, or just a little guidance, Navigating IBD is here to help. Don't wait. Pre-order your copy today and start your journey to better gut health. Welcome to the Health and Healing from the Inside Out podcast with Stephanie A. Wynn, an online health and wellness podcast where I, your host, will provide weekly wellness tips about inflammatory bowel disease, specifically Crohn's and ulcerative colitis. The Health and Healing from the Inside Out podcast is a mixture of special guest interviews from healthcare professionals, IBD survivors, Crohn's survivors, ulcerative colitis survivors, and community thought leaders. Be sure to select the subscribe button and let's start the health and healing process from the inside out. Welcome to the Health and Healing from the Inside Out podcast. I am your host, Stephanie A. Wynn, and here on the show, we are going to dive deep into the world of health and wellness, health equity, health disparities, focusing on resources and expert tips for individuals diagnosed with inflammatory bowel disease, IBS, and other chronic illnesses. My goal is to really focus here on the podcast for those who are, diagnosed with ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. So as your host, each week we will explore the stories, challenges, and triumphs of those living with IBD along with any other chronic illness. So we are super excited. Today, I am thrilled to have our special guest, Bridgette Alfred, join us, who will be sharing her story and her resiliency and how she maintained hope while going through her healthcare challenges. And so we're excited to have this important conversation and shed light on how we all can navigate the road to better health from the inside out. So we're going to get started. Let me introduce our guest. She is the amazing Bridgette Alfred. She's an African-American entrepreneur. She's also a wife of 36 years, a mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, and a retired Army veteran and police sergeant, an ordained minister and Army chaplain, published author and cancer survivor, and inspirational motivational public speaker. As the chaplain for the veterans of foreign wars in Fort Washington, Maryland, Bridgette has assisted and participated in community activities and events hosted and facilitated by the organization. Bridgette Alfred is also the founder and CEO of Bridgette Alfred LLC. By overcoming the many challenges in her life, which included cancer, experiencing a traumatic childhood, experiencing mental, physical, and financial instability, and thriving as an African-American woman, made her realize she is a survivor and not a victim. Welcome, Miss Bridgette.
Well, thank you. Stephanie Wynn. Thank you for the invitation to be on your podcast today.
Yes, we're super excited to have you on the podcast. We're super to have you here. I'm going to get right into the questions because I'm so excited about this interview. So our first question, before we get into it, tell us a little bit about, the things that Bridgette Alfred LLC, what you have going on, what you're doing in the community.
Well, right now, I'm transparent about my life. So I'm sharing all that I've been through, my life experiences through my inspirational books, songs, plays, and movies to encourage and motivate individuals to overcome life challenges, regardless of what stage of life they may be in. So that is what Bridgette LLC is all about right now.
Okay, awesome. So let's jump right into this interview. Was there a specific moment that stands out from your early days after your diagnosis with cancer?
I felt numb. Technician called me on the phone and told me the diagnosis. My husband wasn't home at the time. So I called one of my prayer partners and she prayed with me. And I was on my way to see my primary care doctor and she shared about her sister-in-law that was going through cancer. And she just told me, we, that was impressive. We're going to get through this. So, I told God, you've given me assignments, so I know this is not going to lead to death, but I want you to get the glory out of this. I want to have a miracle from this so I can share the good news about you, that you are the healer and my physician.
Awesome, awesome. So going through that leads me to my second question. Did you find so once you had the diagnosis, did you find that there was any barriers to access to the healthcare system? And if so, how did they impact your diagnosis? How did they impact your treatment and the management of your treatment?
I am an Army veteran, so my physicians are through the VA, Veterans Administration. So our main office is in DC, which is 30 miles north of me. So I spoke with the first oncologist, and they have a program where you can see community physicians in your area, in your zip code. So that's what I requested because I knew the chances are that my daughters who lived out of town and my husband who was still working couldn't take me to my appointments. And going to DC 30 some miles away would have been just too much physically. So they did that. They arranged it for, I went through radiology and chemotherapy. And both of my physicians were within 6 miles from where I lived at. So that helped a lot. It took the mental strain of it, knowing that I didn't have to go all the way to DC for treatment.
That's awesome. Yeah, because that's one of the things that we, at the foundation we talk about providing a hub, if you will, so that, IBD patients, they don't have to go 30 miles out. They can be right in their community and get the resources that they need so that they can have better health outcomes. Because like you just stated, going 30 miles away from home, like mentally, like the mental and with traffic and everything, just dealing with traffic, you got to get mentally prepared. Then you got to get this treatment and have the strength to come back to go home. You know what I mean? So that leads me to my next question is like, was there a time where it was a difficult part of managing your appointments, treatments, and or hospital stays? Where did you have to go in the hospital? Were there times where you didn't have it was just too much for you to handle your appointments, with the scheduling and things of that nature?
The big help was that both oncologists was within 6 miles. So only by the grace of God, I was able to drive myself to all of my appointments. But once I got home, I crashed. I never had an overnight stay pertaining to cancer in a hospital. So that was a blessing also. I don't take any of this as anything but a blessing from God, a miracle from God. Because when the nurse went over all the procedures and what I could expect as far as side effects. She had my husband and I, because that's another thing. This was during the pandemic. So, everything was very cautious about everything. But I say three-fourths of the side effects she said I was going to experience, I didn't. So again, it was God, not me. It was God. But I had medical teams that were so compassionate, so loving that, I felt at ease. I really did.
That is great because as you know, some people's story isn't as, it's more challenging, just having to navigate the healthcare system and, going through the process of, finding the right doctor, getting the team of people that can help you, go through the journey of, how to, I've gotten this diagnosis. What is it, first of all? What, like, how can I live through this? Right. And so that's going to lead me to my next question is what strategies, like you said, one thing you said was, mentally, I knew mentally it would, it would have been hard for me to get, go 30 miles every time I needed treatment. And how, and even if you were going multiple times a week, that's a lot. Mentally, that's a lot. Physically. And so that's what lead me to my next question. Even though after going through this and then going through it during the pandemic, where, a lot of stuff was limited. A lot of things were like you said, very cautious. You had to walk a certain walk. You know what I mean? Hey there, listeners. It's Stephanie Wynn, your host of the Health and Healing from the Inside Out podcast. I'm super excited to share an opportunity with you. On Saturday, March 22nd, 2025, the Stephanie A. Wynn Foundation will be hosting the third annual Let's Talk IBD Health and Wellness Symposium at the University of South Florida, St. Petersburg. And trust me, you do not want to miss it. This year's theme is all about opportunity, bridging gaps in health equity, mental wellness, and quality of life. You'll hear from amazing keynote speakers like Dr. Jasmine Cohen-Young and Dr. Jennifer Seminario, plus connect with others who truly understand the IBD journey. And here's the best part. My upcoming book, Navigating IBD, a 6-week blueprint for better gut health, will launch on the same day as the symposium. And I'm super excited because it will be available at the symposium as well. This guide is packed with practical tips and personal insights to help you or someone you love take control of their health. Register today at the StephanieAWynFoundation.org and secure your spot. I can't wait to see you there and to personally introduce you to navigating IBD. Together, we'll navigate toward better health. Join us on March 22nd because where there's opportunity, there's hope. Peace. And so the next question is, what strategies did you use to stay, like, after you've gone through your treatment? What strategy do you use now to keep you, to manage your physical, to stay active and manage your physical limitations? Like, what strategies do you use?
The biggest thing was my diet. I definitely changed my eating habits. I still have the effect as my immune system is still building back up. So, matter of fact, I have an appointment next week with my radiation oncologist, and he'll, physically check me and just keep monitoring what I eat is the biggest thing. And it was a challenge, but it still have lingering effects from going through radiation, going through chemotherapy, that I don't even want to take an aspirin now. I just don't want no drugs, no anything, so I'm very cautious. I still don't go to large crowds, so I'm very cautious about that. Even when I was going through treatments, I would wear a double mask. I wasn't taking any chance. No COVID at all during the whole time of treatment, which again is a blessing.
Yes. That is awesome. That is so awesome. So, this is the part of the show where, we leave our audience with like something inspirational, motivational, give them a sense of hope. And that's one of the things I want to talk about before we get into that, leaving them with this motivational tip. Talk about your book. Like you wrote a book. Did you write the book when there is hope during COVID, or was it before COVID?
It started in 2014. It's supposed to have been When There Is Hope, Healing Overcomes Painful Events. It's supposed to have been an autobiography of my dear mother, who was 92 at the time that I started. And her memory was so sharp. No signs of dementia, no signs of Alzheimer. And so many people suggested that I write a book about her. And I had an old cassette recorder, and after church, we would sit at my kitchen table, and I had a list of questions, and one would interview her. Use the information I had from her in my life, write a fiction novel, and compare the characters of the novel to biblical characters. As the Bible states that there's nothing new under the sun. So the hope was in that you can make it through whatever circumstance you're going to, because this character in the Bible did. So that was the whole setup with the book. And it also has a companion devotional. In writing the book, I noticed there was still areas of my life I needed healing from my past. So that what happened while writing. Instead of just putting it out there, marketing, I had to heal first. And that's what happened in writing.
And so, where can the people get a copy of this book?
Bridgette, Bridgette, Alfred, Alfred, LLC.com. And there's a tab there for the store. And I'm just thankful for your support, Stephanie, with putting the word out on marketing. Had the Bible study from it. I've had podcasts from it, all to keep talking about hope. Our hope is not in the government. It is not really not in any of our family and friends. Our hope can only be in God, because He's everywhere. He knows everything. He can do everything, but we have to stay in the Word. And that's the one thing that I did with the devotional to the book. It's the scriptures of hope. I researched the whole Bible and found scriptures with hope in it. So that's additional to the novel, to let you know that you have a daily word about hope, to remind you where your hope lies, and that's in our Heavenly Father.
Absolutely. And that is really, really hope is what gets us through, right? Hope is what gets you through those challenging moments. Even if you're like, for me, like being in a flare up, just having hope to know that, okay, it's not going to last forever. This is temporary. I'm going to get through this. And that's what I tell myself all the time. And it doesn't look pretty. It's what it is, right? So this is the part of the show where we leave our audience on the Health and Healing podcast from the inside out. We leave them with a words of encouragement or inspiration. So, Ms. Bridgette, do you want to leave our listeners with the words of encouragement?
Have your hope in God. Get into your word every day, even before you leave your house. Just talk. Sometimes when we talk to God or give a laundry list of what we need, where we need to listen also. And that's having a relationship. That should be the foremost important relationship in your life. It's with your Heavenly Father, because He cares. He cared enough to give us his son to die in our place for salvation so we can have a right standing, a right relationship. So my encouraging moment for you is to have a relationship with God. It's what I love about this technology that we have. We can listen to podcasts like Stephanie had. We can have Bible apps while you're riding in your vehicle. You can have a CD playing. Just a constant reminder of who God is and that he loves you. Don't forget, no matter what circumstances you're in, God loves you and he don't want you to stay in that condition. But you got to take the first step. You got to seek him. It's a song that I play just about every day. Trust in God. Trust in God. And he will never let you down. He's not like man. He cannot fail you. He cannot lie to you. Trust in God.
That is so awesome. Thank you so much. And so with that being said, this is going to conclude this episode. Miss Bridgette, you definitely have to come back. Come back to join us and give us some more words of encouragement. And remember, guys, like there is hope. There is hope with going on this journey. There's hope with finding the right doctors and the providers out there. Don't give up. If you don't know what to ask, write down what questions you have for these providers so that when you're in there with the doctors, you can advocate on your behalf. I'm your host, Stephanie A. Wynn. Until next time, peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Health and Healing from the Inside Out podcast, an online health and wellness podcast where I, your host, Stephanie A. Wynn, will provide weekly wellness tips about inflammatory bowel disease, specifically Crohn's and ulcerative colitis. Be sure to select the subscribe button and let's start the health and healing process from the inside out.